Welcome back to Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life, the podcast. This is Life Coach Brenda Young, and you are listening to 5-Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. Today, I want to expand our consciousness on being hypocritical, showing something that we are not at or we are not. So, and I want to use as my foundational scripture Jesus cursing the fig tree for not producing fruit. And this can be found in Matthew 21st chapter, verses 18 to 19. So Jesus was returning to Jerusalem. He was hungry. He noticed a fig tree beside the road. He went to see if there were any figs, but there were only leaves. Then he said to the fig tree, "May you never bear fruit again." And immediately the fig tree withered up. You know, I speak a lot about purpose on this show. And the purpose of the fig tree was to produce fruit. So when a lot of people talk about this scripture and this passage, they're saying that Jesus cursed the fig tree because it didn't have any fruit, right? It wasn't following its purpose. But today, I want to look at a different version of this scripture and see the real meaning behind why Jesus cursed the fig tree. So first, let's look at the purpose part of it, right? Your soul chose your body because it wanted to have a certain experience on earth. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. That means, to say it another way, the universe wanted to experience itself through our personal central nervous system. And we are all here to do something special, which is why we're all unique and which is why we all have a purpose, and we're all here to do something as unique as our fingerprints. Unfortunately, like the fig tree, we don't know what our purpose is. The fig tree knew its purpose was to produce figs. That is why it is called a fig tree. But the name Myrna or Leon or Mark or John does not tell us what we are supposed to do. In fact, I heard someone or somewhere that Jesus was one of the only people that came on this earth, came into his body knowing his purpose, knowing what he was here to do, right? But most of us don't, unless we have this direct connection to God where he speaks through our dreams or we're able to hear his voice. So today I want to concentrate on the fact that the fig tree did not produce fruit, and that's why Jesus cursed it, saying, "May you never bear fruit again." So does this curse translate to people not bearing fruit and not following their purpose? We will never know. Does God curse you if you are not following your purpose? If he says, "Why are you not doing what I sent you here to do?" Maybe you never do that again because you haven't done it. I don't think he does that. But again, he's not talking in my ear. So, but what Jesus was actually doing when he cursed the fig tree, it was not because the fig tree had no fruit. Jesus cursed the fig tree because it was pretending to have fruit by having lots of leaves. So if you were to go and look into fig trees, you will see that when they have leaves or when they're showing leaves, it means that there's also fruit, right? If there's no leaves, then we know that there's no fruit. But if you are going to be pumping around like a peacock, showing off your feathers, showing off your leaves, And then when someone goes to eat, you got nothing to offer. So that is why Jesus cursed the fig tree, so it would not continue to deceive people, spreading his leaves as to say, now is the time for figs, but had no figs or no fruit to offer. Jesus is telling us that we must bear fruit or we will be condemned to hell. He cursed the fig tree as an object lesson to all of us, not to be hypocritical, not to pretend to be something that you are not. A lot of people show a pretty picture. This is the world we're living in right now. You know, everybody's got fake stuff, right? They're showing a pretty picture, but they're dead inside. It is like dressing up a corpse, right? So again, Jesus cursed the fig tree for being all dressed up with leaves, not yet had no fruit. In a word, it had nothing to offer. You know, I decided to teach on this today because I was reading my Bible, like I do every morning, and I'm reading this scripture, and it just jumped out to me that I should stop and research what is actually happening here. Because every time that I've heard this scripture preached in church, we're all talking about you don't do your purpose, that's why you're cursed, right? But nobody ever taught me that it is pretending because of the leaf situation. I didn't even notice that. It was because the fig tree was showing leaves, and the reason Jesus walked over to it, because he saw the leaves and he figured that there was fruit. And when he had no fruit, that's when he cursed. It's not because it was not producing figs because of purpose. So I am glad that I stopped and took a pause and took a pin, because God wanted me to share with you that pretending doesn't get you anywhere, right? If you got no fruit, you got no fruit. You don't need to pretend. It's better to be the real you. My grandma would always say, do not judge the book by its cover, right? So we live in a society where people are spending a lot of time showing off their leaves. Their package on the outside looks good, but when you take a closer look, there's no substance, there's no fruit. So they can't feed you. Whatever it is that you're looking for, it might not be necessary food. Jesus was hungry, he was looking for real food, but we are hungry for a lot of things. We're hungry for attention, we're hungry for affection, we're hungry for real relationships and not fake relationships. We're hungry for a lot of things, right? So ladies, look out for those well-dressed playboys who are showing you the side of him that he wants you to see. Look at his fruit. What's beneath the shell? Ask him, what does he have to offer you to eat, right? And chances are, it's nothing. It's just leaves. It's just clothes. It is just the outer package. And he cannot emotionally connect. He cannot be faithful. He cannot, be your one and only, right? So that's basically what my message is for you today. I wanted to tell you, look out for hypocritical people. The Bible always said, be aware of wolves in sheep clothing. So not a way of being hypocritical. And for you yourself, make sure that what you show is what you got. Do not put on this whole facade. Do not put on this whole package. When people peel off the outer layer, you should be as real as what you're pretending to be. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of 5-Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. I hope you're inspired today. If you're listening to this on iTunes, we'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and review. If you're listening to this on YouTube, we'd love for you to subscribe. And until next time, namaste.